Have you ever slipped and fallen and thought, someone should have fixed that? That wasn't my fault. Well, you might have been a victim of negligence. Let's dive in. G'day folks, LawBlender back again, your friendly neighbourhood lawyer, back to blend the law and make it understandable. Welcome to the LawBlender series Legal Terms Explained, Contract and Civil Law Edition. Today, we're demystifying the concept of negligence. What is negligence, you might ask, and why is it important? In simple terms, negligence is when someone fails to take reasonable care and that failure causes harm to someone or something else. It's like leaving a banana peel on the floor. If you didn't clean it up and someone slips and breaks their arm, that could be negligence. The law requires that we all act with a certain level of care to prevent foreseeable harm to others. So why is this important? It's important because negligence touches most aspects of our lives, from a restaurant not keeping their floor clean to a doctor making a mistake during surgery, or even potentially a neighbour's tree falling and damaging your property. Understanding negligence is key to knowing your rights and responsibilities to be safe and well protected. It's not just about being clumsy, it's about the legal duty we all have to prevent foreseeable harm to others. So let's take a look at how the United States handles negligence. In the USA, negligence claims usually fall under state law, meaning it can differ between state to state, but there are core commonalities amongst them. The legal system typically considers 4 key elements to prove for negligence. 1. Was there a duty of care? Did someone have a responsibility to act with that duty of care? Breach of duty. Did they fail in that responsibility? Causation. Did that breach of duty directly cause the damages? And 4. Damages. Can the plaintiff show that they suffered some form of loss or injury? This stems from common law principles developed over time through court rulings. For example, say a grocery store doesn't clean up a spill and someone slips and injures themselves. The store has a duty to ensure the safety of its premises. And if they fail, and that failure causes harm, then they might be liable for negligence. While there's no specific federal negligence statute, these principles are consistently applied across the country, with some variations in state laws. Australian law handles negligence in a very similar way, but with some key differences. Each state and territory has enacted what they call a Civil Liability Act, and that codifies the negligence laws. These acts were introduced in the early 2000s to reform tort law and create more consistency across jurisdictions. It was also done because some felt that negligence claims were getting out of hand in terms of how many dollars were being paid out. Like in the USA, Australian negligence law requires proof of duty of care, a breach of that duty, causation, and damages. However, the Civil Liabilities Acts have introduced specific provisions on how these elements are determined and how they're argued in court, often with very tight time frames. For example, these acts often include a calculus of negligence, which courts use to determine if a duty was breached. This is commonly seen in cases like car accidents where a driver's lack of duty of care causes a crash, or in personal injury claims where someone is injured due to poor safety standards at work or on premises. An example might be if a construction company fails to secure the perimeter of a construction site and someone is injured by falling debris. The company may be liable under the relevant Civil Liability Act for negligence. So as you can see, they're quite similar, but we'll go through the core principles and how they differ between the United States and Australia. Firstly, legislation. Australia has specific civil liabilities acts in each state, while the US relies more heavily on common law principles. 2. Damage caps. Many Australian jurisdictions have introduced caps on damages, particularly for personal injuries claims. This is far less common in the United States. 3. Contributory negligence. In most United States, if a plaintiff is partly at fault, their damages are reduced proportionally. In Australia, contributory negligence can sometimes completely bar recovery. 4. Good Samaritan laws. Both countries have these, but they're most often more comprehensive in Australia, meaning there is some level of protection if you're trying to do the right thing and harm occurs. The practical implication of these differences is while the basic concepts are similar, the process of suing for negligence and the potential outcomes can vary significantly between the two countries. Now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced a situation where you felt someone was negligent? Have you ever been a victim of negligence? Share your stories in the comments below, but remember, we're not here for legal advice or to place blame, just to learn from your experiences. I look forward to reading them later. Here are the key takeaways you need to understand about negligence. Firstly, negligence isn't just about accidents. It's about a failure to act reasonably, causing harm, and it has 4 elements: duty, breach, causation, and damage. Next, both the US and Australia have negligence laws to help people injured as a result of someone else's breach of duty. The framework and systems for enforcing the claim and legislations may differ, but the underlying principles are the same. You can be both a victim of negligence and potentially the negligent party. Understanding this concept may help you both in how you act and what you need to be aware of. 4. If you believe you've been the victim of negligence or you're unsure about your responsibilities, please seek professional legal advice. Each situation is different, and a lawyer can help. And there you have it, negligence explained as fast as I can. Now you know what to look for and how the law deals with negligence. Next time on Legal Terms Explained, we'll dive into the world of damages. Be sure to check out the playlist to learn more about all the legal terms. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or any other legal terms you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. And remember, for any specific legal concerns, visit lawblender.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you next time.